And the Red Sox drop an ugly series to the Minnesota Twins in Minnesota and are looking for a bit of a bounce back series against a red hot Tigers team back at Fenway Park. Let's just recap this garbage of a series. So the first game of this series I can easily describe in one word. Actually, I could describe it in multiple words. It could be described as rough, could be described as terrible, could be awful. Any word to describe terrible, whatever you want to throw out there. That was this game. Crochet was absolutely knocked around. The offense was flat until we were down 11 to nothing. Story maybe had the worst flip to second base on defense I think I have ever seen. Crochet had the worst start of his career. I want to mention that. And they did pan to him in the dugout like he was just absolutely defeated, saying, "What just happened? I just let up 11 runs, 10 of them were earned to Minnesota." And they did mention Crochet has had a rough going against Minnesota in his career. I didn't expect to give up 11 runs this game in less than 2 innings, I think it was, maybe 3 innings. Um, I'm glad, though, that he's not hurt, and hopefully this type of start doesn't happen again, because it's very unusual for Crochet to have a bad game like that. Actually, it's very unusual, because that was the worst game of his career. But the only pluses about this game, really, on the pitching side of things, was San Diego came in, and he pitched really good. I think he had two scoreless innings this game. Moran also looked pretty good out of the pen. On the offensive side, there wasn't really too much to talk about. Duran had a couple runs driven in. Abreu had a couple hits. I think Roman had a couple walks. Monasterio got an RBI late in the game. There was nothing really good to talk about this game. I thought we were going to win this game. You know, you got Crochet on the mound. I guess it was Bailey Ober, who's one of the slowest throwers in the game. And I think he went 6 innings, if I remember right, without looking at it at the top of my head. Uh, but it was just not a good game to watch, no matter if you're a Sox fan. It was great if you're a Minnesota fan, but horrible to watch if you're a Red Sox fan. The second game of this series did not get any better. Sonny Gray was not good at all. I believe only went 4 innings, giving up 5 runs. And the second night in a row where a Red Sox starter could not even go 5 innings and cooking the bullpen. The offense was not any better, getting shut out and allowing Mick Abel to have a career high with 10 strikeouts in this game. Contreras got hurt with a back injury. I believe he's still day to day. Monasterio coming into the game and maybe having one of the worst ABS challenges I think I have ever seen. It was all of the ball was in the strike zone, and he has the audacity to tap his helmet and challenge it. And you look at the ABS, and it's like, of course it's a strike. Why are you even challenging that? But I don't even want to really talk about that because it was so bad. The only good part about this game, really on the pitching side, was Jack Anderson coming in his major league debut. I pitched three innings. I was gonna say three scoreless, but he gave up that home run to, I believe it was Byron Buxton, who killed the Red Sox basically all day. And now that I come to think of it, I've been thinking about this as I was filming. The Twins, I can't think of the exact number, but had a ton of home runs this series. They were absolutely having their way with the Red Sox with the long ball. I mean, it was like the Red Sox were like the pitcher who throws the baseballs to the participants in the home run derby, like batting practice. Here you go. Here you go. Lob, lob. Here you go. Easy. Oh, easy home run. Oh, it's 5-0. Whatever. It's like throwing meatballs out there. Every single pitch. And the third game was actually pretty good to watch. Unfortunately, I couldn't watch the whole thing because I was stuck doing something, but the game was actually pretty good to watch. The pitching was good. Kennelly early had a quality start, going 6 innings, which is something you needed in this series to not eviscerate your bullpen. Uh, the only really bad part I want to talk about the pitching was that Watson came in the ninth inning and gave up 4 runs. To be honest, I don't really expect too much from Watson because he's a Rule 5 draft pick. He's automatically going to make the team. You got to throw him out there in some opportunities. This was a low leverage situation. We're up 9-1 at this point, I think it was. And, he gave up 4 runs. It really didn't matter. Like, oh, big deal. Gives up 4 runs. If it was a higher leverage situation, I wouldn't have thrown him out there. But 9-1 game in the bottom of the ninth inning. Might as well throw the Rule 5 draft pick out there just to see what he can do. And obviously, he gave up 4 runs. He was decent earlier in the year, but not going to expect too much out of Watson. I mean, it's a 9-1 lead, and you give up 4 runs. So big deal. And the offense finally woke up this series. We scored 9 runs for once. I'm saying that as if we haven't had a few games where we've scored a bunch of runs this season. Trevor Story had 5 RBIs this game. That was a little bit shocking to see. I believe he had that 3-run home run earlier in the game with that 5-run inning. IKF had a couple hits. Monasterio had a couple hits, so he basically redeemed himself after the Tuesday night debacle with the ABS system. Overall, this was a great game to watch. You desperately needed to get a win against a surprisingly red-hot Minnesota team. And last year, I believe, Minnesota played good against us. I think we split the series against Minnesota, if I remember right. And remember, last year, when we played Minnesota, not at Target Field, but at Fenway Park, that was the start of Minnesota's 13-game win streak last year, and then they cratered to the bottom of the standings. So maybe this is a sign. They're going to crater down to the bottom of the standings. Hopefully. I hope they do. But overall, this was something you needed. And now you got to go face a red hot Tigers team who now, just looking at the pitching matchups from earlier, now you got to face Tarek Skubal and Framber Valdez in this series. I believe Detroit has their 5 starter today, and then it's Skubal, Valdez, and I don't know who their 3 starter is. I want to say it's Jack Flaherty, but I'm not completely sure. I'll probably look at that more when we go live tonight. But yeah, good series win for the Red Sox. Actually happy for them. Well, if you made it to the end of this video, do hit the like button. Do subscribe, I guess. Uh, I did forget to film the Cardinals series video. I absolutely completely forgot about that. Uh, and hopefully our Red Sox can win against the Tigers this series. Hopefully can bare minimum split this 4-game series. Hopefully they can. Maybe even win a series against this red hot Tigers team. Hopefully they can.